All right, everyone, we are here with the final war of the season and the unnecessary rematch against GT40. Today I'll be taking in Sorcerer Supreme, Falcon, and Dr. Doom. I will have Path 6 in Section 1, Path 1 in Section 2, and I am on boss duty using Sorcerer Supreme versus Annihilus. So pretty excited. Doom was my 4th rank 4. So bringing him into war today, we've got Max MD, and I've actually got Max Pacify for a fight later. But this Aarkus here, pretty straightforward. Use SB1 to get some of the power gain buffs so that you can quickly get to SB3, and then pretty much win fight from there on. You should be cycling special 3s constantly with this fight, no problem. So invulnerability boost, that's going to last me for the first couple fights. This is just if we need to tank any special 3s. However, this is a power focus 2 node, so it's not likely that we'll get hit with a special 3. If anything, we might accidentally get hit with a special 2. But going pretty slow here, taking off a lot of health. And there I meant to throw SP1 but got pushed to SP2, so unfortunate start. That pushes him to special 2. We just go ahead and block it right there. And then we get our special 1 here that we were trying to, and then we get pushed to special 3 with it, and this will end this fight. So like I said, super easy. Aarkus and Doom fights usually just end up being a light show, especially if Aarkus has a lot of power gain from the node, so it just ends up being trading special 3s. Next fight, we're taking Maw on Mixmaster. We're going to use Falcon, so we're utilizing that attack tactic Defiance. We're not going to gain any buffs, so we shouldn't get any degen or give Mystic Dispersion power from that. Pretty much going to take early opportunities to heavy him, to knock him down, to put him back into focusing, and to ruin his focus, get locked on, and then go in for full combos. Probably should have ended with a light. Usually that builds the crit passive faster on Mixmaster than if I end with a medium. He's being pretty stubborn here. Finally throws that special 1. We're going to retaliate it. And then with locked on, we're going to be pretty focused, or when locked on is on cooldown, we're going to be pretty focused on parry heavy if we can land a stun, or retaliating special 1 with a heavy. And then getting back to locked on, we take some degen there because that last hit is 100% chance to crit. It's odd that it doesn't miss. I think because the wording is 100% chance instead of guaranteed. It might have something to do with it, but who knows. Kabam things. But fight is going pretty smooth. I was a little worried with him being a butt and just not playing ball. Kind of turtling up. We're getting close to focused here, or to the miss mechanic here, the falter. So we're going to go ahead and let it happen and then not retaliate, and then get our next opportunity to heavy, and down he goes. So far so good. Minimal damage. Moving on to the fight I was most worried about this war, Skrull here on EMP. I had a game plan in my mind, and the game plan worked out really well, but I realized I didn't have a solid game plan for if I had Mystic power back boosts, which I'm not used to with Doom. So I don't bring Doom that often to war, or to war that often. So the power back boosts here are a little bit of unknown territory for me. So my game plan here, and this was why I maxed out Pacify, was to parry heavy, not parry medium heavy, just parry heavy, and kind of roll the die on whether he goes unstoppable or not, and let heavy Mystic Dispersion push me to SP3. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to make sure that I'm counting Bubble Shield. However, what I did not anticipate was Pacify messing with the Bubble Shield. So It's working out pretty well here so far. He's unstoppable there, so we're going to wait. And it's kind of unfortunate now we have a dexterity buff, so we're going to lose some power here with the next few heavies. And here now I'm kind of waiting it out. Forgot about the miss there, but we got lucky. And then here is where I felt great. Okay, so the game plan was fine, but I did not expect to come out of this with more than a bar of power, or even a bar of power. I just wasn't thinking about the power back boost. And what I should have done was just thrown special 1 here, but I end up attacking like a dummy's at special 2, and it was at the unblockable part of bubble shield. So we take all this incinerate, and just from, heck, I think it was 98%, we're gonna get whittled down to about, and there I thought I had a special 3, but we lost power from a buff expiring. We're gonna go down to about 30%. So here, I feel like I have the fight. I just need to focus a bit more. Watching bubble shield, and I actually see it hit 20, and we're back to this parry heavy game plan so that we can hopefully get to special 3. And I see it hit 20, and I just didn't connect it with don't block. So we ate a couple of hits, and now he's unstoppable. We're against the wall. We're just going to wait for some buffs to expire. They're going to. We're at SP3, and it ends up being a solo. So really, really sloppy, really, really bad execution after that first special 3. Should have been way different of a fight. We should have came out of that special 3 and just threw special 1 to get rid of his special 2 so that we didn't end up getting screwed by it and bubble shield. But anyways, we live. If anything, it just costs a bunch of items, but luckily this is the last war of the season, so we can recover that in the off season. So here, Doom, we're actually going to Doom cycle here. Again, I have the power back boosts, so I do get caught off a little bit when we come out of the special 3 against this Corvus. But this entire fight, I'm just thinking, make sure that the shock is there if we're going to heavy. So we're making sure that when he comes back with his glaive coming back up, that he doesn't lose the shock debuff, and that we can still heavy at the end of our combo. So turtling up here so he doesn't throw special attacks. Avoiding reinvigorate pretty easily because we're not dashing back often at all in this Doom cycle. That heavy into special 3, and then here's where you're gonna see I come out of it and I've got a little bit too much power, and again, wasn't expecting it. And end up throwing special 2. Luckily, we power drain him just enough, and that ends the fight. So barely any damage, but that was the end of Doom's War, so pretty solid. Pretty easy matchup. Next thing here on Buffet, another reason we brought Falcon. Defiance avoiding or basically bypassing Buffet, so we don't have to worry about the reinvigorate. And then we're just pounding away at Thing while locked on. I did not adjust Mastery so that I don't have a point in Assassin, so I'm going to be pretty focused on not hitting him at all when he's getting close to the Assassin range and he's not locked on. But here, just really aggressive. We're going to get a few cheeky intercepts where he won't let us parry, like here. Get into this special 2 after he throws his special 1 while he's locked on. Good, so we're going to wait out. Here's that assassin range. Just waiting for the cooldown. And then we're back in it. Now we're back to being aggressive. And this fight will end with us throwing special 1. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Falcon really overpowers Thing. All right, and then this last fight is the boss fight. This Annihilus is actually the exact same Annihilus boss that I took earlier in the season. You guys saw that one get really sketchy with my usual game plan. But after watching a few other Sorcerer Supreme boss fights, I decided that I don't need to wait after the first special 1 to build to special 3 and be an Ingenuity and then drop it. There is enough of an overlap with the runes and the debuffs that are placed early on that if I threw special 1 and then continued to throw special 2s afterward, that we would always have a slow rune or a slow debuff between placing it and pausing it. So I just decided here that I wasn't going to hold a special 3 until Ingenuity showed up, unless Mystic Dispersion pushes me there. So still starting in Ingenuity just to get that slow debuff placed right away. Now we've got the Nullification Aura up, so this will push us to special 2, and this places another slow debuff, but also pauses them. So this is pretty much where I wanted to sit, and I figured with this I'm going to at least keep him from pushing me against my wall and give me room to bait out special attacks if he's actually willing to throw it. And you see there he got stubborn, he wasn't going to, but this will power drain just a little bit, and luckily he threw special 2 here. So that gives us some breathing room as far as throwing more attacks at him and not getting hit with special 3. And then you see Mystic Power Back boosts pushed us to special 3 there. So now I'm just kind of waiting until I get into Ingenuity, which will be after Resolve here. And that puts us easily into special 3 without spending much time against the wall. So I like this start a lot better. I don't mind if Mystic Dispersion pushes me here. You can see there with the armor breaks that we took off a huge chunk. So the fight is actually faster with this kind of play style. And here I was hoping to knock him out, but I think a couple buffs end right about here, and I end up throwing special 3 instead of special 2. I mean, overkill for the 2% left and just adds time to the fight time, but I wasn't really worried about it with this war. But yeah, this was the end of my war, and really happy to go deathless for the season. 70 fights and no deaths. So GT40 did not need this win, could lose easily. We ended up beating out their BG 9-0, and then ended up winning 14-1. So no telling how this would have played out if GT40 actually had to win this, but they could lose this and still maintain first place. So this win allowed us to stay in third. So we finally got back to the top 3 after many seasons of missing it. So feels pretty good. But that was the end of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I will catch you guys at the reward opening.